This will be my first video of my new channel, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. Before I start, there are going to be some games on here that you will not see, and if you don't see them, don't think anything about it. It's just because I haven't played it. So there will be obviously some exclusions like Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake, Indiana Jones. I'm in the process of playing those, but I might make an amendment to the video probably, and if they're better than the ones on this list, I'll let you know. But I don't foresee it because the year's almost over, so this will be the final list. So now, very surprising on the list, I think, for a lot of people who are watching this, Visions of Mana. Now, personally, I thought it was a good game. Now, I've heard mixed opinions about this game. Like, you either really like this game or you really despise this. I don't know why. From what I played, it was fine. Like, you know, nothing too groundbreaking, but I thought it did a lot of things right. I thought the combat was solid. The story was fine. Very sad. I'll just say that. Very sad story. The different variation of classes in that game was kind of cool. Like, you could choose, you know, your mage type. You could choose your, you know, you could choose the water type. You could choose the fire type. I thought that was cool, and it made for like interesting combinations of sorts. The side quests are not that interesting, and I feel like that's why it's in the bottom 10. I feel like if the side quests were more interesting, or it was just better, or you could get better. Now, I understand, like, there were certain side quests that you could do. You could get better items in the game, but they were not necessarily worth it because some of the side quests were just like really, some of them were really repetitive and some of them were just dumb. I still really like this game. Really like the combat in the game. All the extra stuff, even the in-game stuff I like too, was really good. And it's very sad that the studio, I think, the Oko Studios, apparently they got shut down after making this game, which that's the reports. I don't know if they're actually fully shut down. I don't know if they got fully shut down after this game, I don't know after they made this game if they fully shut down for some reason, but if they did, I'm very, this has happened in the gaming industry for the last year, layoffs and all that stuff, studios shutting down, and it's very sad because they did make a really, what I thought was a good game. They made like a really good game here, and it's just sad that a lot of people, if it's true that that most of the people that worked on the game don't have a job now, I hope they find work, because the people that worked in this game were very talented, and I hope they get back on their feet. EA Sports, and I'm also going to lump 2K into this because I feel like they need to get the smoke too. These two companies have, for the most part, have been very lazy with their sports games. Madden has been terrible for the last couple of years, and NBA is no different. NBA 2K, I think the last good one was probably 2K16, and even that, you know, it was still not as good as 2K11. But I will give EA credit on this. College Football 25 is the most fun I've had playing a sports game in a while. It was different. The control very different. This game, look, as someone who's played a lot of football, like, you know, Madden, I thought I was going to come into this game and be like, all right, I should be relatively okay. I know what I'm doing. No, this game, it has a steep, kind of a little bit of a steep learning curve when you do it, because the audience, you know, the audience interaction of the game, because you're playing in these big stadiums, the crowd will will affect the game in a lot of ways that you didn't expect. This game is also very, you have to actually learn the mechanics of this game. You can't just go in and play casually when you play College Football 25. No, you gotta go in and actually know your shit about the offenses, different schemes, defenses, different schemes. You gotta know all that. The one thing I really love about this game is the recruiting portion of, you know, Dynasty mode. I really love that. I really love going in depth in all my teams and trying to make them better. Going for, like, you know, the 5-star defensive tackle or the 5-star quarterback. You know, that's fine. But then you get your diamond in the roughs. You get your 4-star linebacker. You get your 3-star quarterback. And it's good to just go in there to make the best teams possible in order for you to win national championships. For me, for example, I think now I think I just won my 7th national championship, but I've gone to 3 different programs at this point, so it doesn't really matter. That's not really as impressive when you really think about it, but not by much. And I hope for college football 26, they do improve some things. I do want them to improve a little bit of the recruiting class, because I do feel like they made it a little bit too, like, it was all stripped down. Like, you only have like a few options. I hope they add more options in the future for 26. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it day one. I probably might wait for a discount, because I bought this game because it was the first game since 2014. But you know what I mean. Like, I've been waiting for a long time for this game, and hopefully, you know, they have continued success, and hopefully this is the start of a new franchise, and, you know, they don't, you know, I hope they just don't bail on this thing after like 10 years or something. That would be very, very disappointing. Now, some background on me. I actually like the Metroidvania style of games. So I played Super Metroid, I played Metroid Dread, I played Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I really like those games, okay? So when they made a Prince of Persia 2D, you know, Metroidvania game, of course I'm going to play it. I think the traversal of this game is really nice. You can go back and forth, you know, like any Metroidvania. I think the combos are sick. I think the variation of special like special finishers that you could do in this game is cool. The story, you know, it's there, it's fine. Like, I'm not gonna say it's like the greatest story ever, but, you know, for that, I think it's good. I see a lot of people talking about it, and this game gets kind of lost in the other Game of the Year's discussions, because this game came out like early, I want to say this game came out like early January. And then we got like, you know, all these other hits that came out later in the year. And this has kind of been forgotten for. And I just kind of want to bring it back because I really did enjoy this game. I hope they do more games like this, but I don't know if they are, because Ubisoft right now is kind of struggling. They're one of those studios that is rumored to be maybe sold. I just hope they continue to make these type of games, but we'll see, because I don't know. This is Ubisoft. All right, some background. I am a Legend of Zelda fan. Now, I'm more of a New Age fan. I've played like Link to the Past and all that, but I haven't played some of the older ones up until the, I want to say the GameCube. I think the first GameCube one I played was Wind Waker. I really like this series, so when I saw that they were actually going to make a Zelda game starring Zelda, and when I mean starring Zelda, I mean she is the main character, I was interested. I was already hooked up the idea, so I was like, all right. I finished the game probably like a month ago, 2 months ago. No, like probably 2 months ago. I finished the game 2 months ago. I really loved this game. Really good. I think the mechanic of the echoes adds a lot. There's a lot of variations, and I do like the exploration in this game. It has the, you know, the Link's Awakening you know, graphic style in the game. I really like that. The Frank and Baskin type cartoons you saw from like the Christmas specials and all that. It looks really nice. And I do hope they do make like a sequel to this game. I think this could be the start of, like, you know, a separate spin-off franchise for Zelda. Maybe not Echoes, but they could do something else with Zelda. So this is a good start, and I hope they continue with. This was the last game I played that made it on this list, Mario and Luigi Brothership. Now, I know I'm gonna get a lot of, what the fuck, bro? I have never finished or played a Mario Luigi game. I just think this game is catered more to the hardcore side of the Mario and Luigi fandom, because there are a lot of cameos, characters that, like, there's a lot of cameos, characters, and events that happen in this game, and things that are referenced in this game that I feel like would feel more impactful. Like, the person playing this game, it feel more impactful, and people get really more excited if you played the other games in the series, because there's a lot of things that I didn't know. I have a friend, I'm not going to say his name, but I have a friend who loves this series, really loves this series. And he got excited with all the cameos and all that. And I could not understand why, because I didn't play any of the other series. Do I think this is a good, like, starting point for someone who's never played a Mario Luigi game? I'm gonna be honest. No, I think you're better off playing one of the older games first, because I think this is more of, you need to have some familiarity with the series to enjoy this more. But if I'm just gonna judge it standalone, I really like this game. The side characters were all cool. I think the villains, a lot of it was good. My only complaint in this game is that the side quests fucking suck. This is how I'm feeling after like I beat it like a week ago. I feel like these side quests are pointless. They are not good. You don't get any good items doing these side quests. Like, I guess the only thing to do these side quests is to do the monster challenges or whatever, where you could beat all these high level monsters. But that's about it. Other than that, there's like really no point in doing these side quests. They're all, in my opinion, they're just boring. I think they could have cut some of these side quests and made it a solid like 60-hour game, maybe. Those small islands, those is-its, those were okay up until you get to the middle point of the game. I won't spoil it for anybody. There's a thing you have to do with those islands to get to another island that I think is, while I understand why you do it, I think they could have found another way to do that to get to that island without having to do that. But I did really enjoy this game. I love the battle mechanics. The battle theme is rocking. I love the battle theme. Characters are cool, except for Starlo. I don't like her. I hate her. She dissed my man Luigi, and you don't ever diss that man. That man is a pure angel. That man's a real man's man, and how dare you disrespect him. Alright, some backstory. I have only played Persona 5, and when I mean Persona 5, I do not mean Persona 5R. I mean Persona 5, the original OG Persona 5, without the DLC part of it. I really liked the game, like Persona 5. So going into Persona 3, I thought it would be more of the same, you know, just the same enemies and all that stuff. I was completely wrong. This game, I feel like, of the Persona, the two Persona games I played, this one and Persona 3. No, Persona 5 and now Persona 3. I feel like this has the best story. I really do. This story was enthralling from beginning to end. There was a lot of twists and turns. And the big bad of it is very, very philosophical. Like, it's very... This game is really just about, like, about life. Like, really emotional. It's a really emotional story. I'm just gonna go on and say it. I think I haven't cried in a game. This one came really close. Like, I almost cried at this game. I almost cried in this game near the end when you face the final boss and do all that stuff. I almost cried, but I didn't. But it's a really good game. I really love that they did remake this game, and it does get me excited to maybe the potential what Alice could do, because I do think they could remake the other three games. And when I mean the other three games, I mean Persona 1 and 2 and then Persona 4. I think they have a future where they could do it. Now, Persona 1 and 2 is going to be kind of... I watched a video about Persona 2, and there's some things they might have to change about it a little bit. The music, let me just say this. The music in this game hits. Like, it just fucking hits. The battle theme, the dorm theme, the final boss theme, the boss rush theme. Just music. I love the jazz influence in this series. Just everything about it is really good. I love it. This is the most beloved game, I think, in the series. I didn't play this. When I got my GameCube, guys, I was more into like Luigi's Mansion, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Smash Bros. Melee. This game was not on my radar, because here's the thing. When I started getting into these type of games, like these RPG type of games, probably, I want to say like probably when I was in my early teens to 20s. So when I played this game, when I saw this at the Nintendo Direct last year when they teased this, I was really interested, because like, oh, I thought if anything they were going to remake the first game, but this is a cool surprise. They're going to remake the second game, the most popular game in the series. And after playing it, I understand why a lot of people love this game. I really do. I think the badge mechanics in this game is better than in Paper Mario. I think Mario in this game is much more funny, much more like as a character. He's just better in this game. It's just he's more of a ladies' man. Even if he doesn't want to be a ladies' man, he's a ladies' man. The comedy in this game is top notch. I think it's hilarious. It also has one of the best partners in this game. We all know who we talk about. Because when you saw this, I still don't understand to this day how this game is rated E10 when you see her. I have many questions for you, Nintendo. I really do. But at the same time, I gotta give you my respect when it deserves. I saw the vision. I see the vision, man. I see what you did there. I think the badge mechanics, the badges, are better in this game than in Paper Mario, the first game. I think the battles are more interesting. I think the bosses in this game are way better. Like the first boss you face in this game. I won't spoil anything if you guys haven't played this game. Even though this game came out like 20 something years ago, and this game came out like early in the year. But when you fight the first boss, you know how this game, you know what you're getting into in this game. And also the music, my god, the music in this game is great. The battle theme, I always will harp on the battle theme. I will harp on the town theme, these X-Naut theme, the space theme, all that, man, really good. I also like that Peach in this game is not just a helpless damsel. Like in the Paper Mario series, they treat her actually with respect. So they'll have her do a lot of things in this game that will help the main character. And I do kind of like because they do get inspiration from movies and stuff, because there is like a 2001 A Space Odyssey references all around in this game. I do like that Luigi the whole time is not in this game, but he's having his own little adventure somewhere. So he's just telling Mario like, oh yeah, this is happening. And Mario could not care less. He's just like, all right, buddy. And then he just falls asleep for no reason. I'm like, Mario, come on, man. Luigi's having his own little adventure and you don't care? Unbelievable. But no, this game, I really love this game. This is a really good game. I love it. So Astro Bot. What can I say, man? There's a lot of positives I have with this game. Really, and this one game of the year. And you know what? I'm not even surprised, okay? A lot of people, I've seen online the discourse of this game like, my god, why this went? Because you didn't play it. I guarantee the people that are saying this did not play this game, and they're only looking at the gameplay. They just saw one step of the gameplay and were like, how did this game beat so-and-so? And beat so-and-so? And beat so-and-so? And beat this game? Guys, you didn't play it, so you wouldn't understand it. This game harps a lot of the classic Mario games that I really love. This has like Super Mario Sunshine elements, Super Mario Galaxy influence in it. There's just a lot of things in this game to love. Like, it's just the simplicity of this game. And, it's not a very long game. I think I beat this in like 12, 15 hours. But those 12, 15 hours, man, I really enjoy it. And I think this is the thing that I have a problem with the gaming industry a little bit, is that not every game needs to be like 90, 100 hours. Like, I know on my list, there are games that are obviously like 90, borderline on that level. I feel like the gaming industry could be better if they just have some of these games like Astro Bot come out, where it's like a 15, 20 hour experience and you're done. And it does everything. It doesn't stay too long. It doesn't overstay its welcome. You're in, you're out, and it's good. I really love the platforming in this game. Is it a little bit challenging? Look, there are a lot of people struggling with this game. I didn't really struggle with this game a lot, but there are some difficulties in this game. But people saying this is like the hardest platform they ever played. No, not even close. This ain't even close to a hard platform. But I will say it will give you a challenge. This game does have some challenging worlds and some challenging inputs like near the end of the game. I really like the Sony integration in this game, and I kind of look at Sony and PlayStation, side-eye, because there's a lot of influence from like the first, like the PS1, PS2 era of Sony. And I just kind of look at them like, look guys, clearly there's a lot of people that want to see some of these franchises that you've laid dormant come back. It's fine. It's fine. You guys can make a new, you know, you can make a new Jack and Daxter if you want. Sly Cooper, you can make a new Sly Cooper. These are synonymous with PlayStation. All these, like the Astro Bots that you have to save, they define Sony. And I really love it. It's a love letter to Sony, to the Sony era of the PS1, PS2, and PS3 era. It's just a love letter. I hoped Sony looked at the success of Astro Bot and think to fund more games like it, because I do think a game like this does deserve all the recognition, all the praise, and all the love for it, because it really is a good game. Because here's the thing, I play Mario games, so I played all the Mario games. There are some aspects that Astro Bot does that are very Mario-esque, and I don't like the discussion being had that like, well, no, I think Astro Bot does things better than Mario, or Mario does things better than Astro Bot, which you could have your own discussion. I just don't really like, you know, the hate that they're trying to give, like, oh no, this series is better, this series is better because of this, and that. I feel like, why can't we enjoy both of them? Because I enjoy both of these games, and obviously that love Sony, like they're diehard Sony fans. They gotta understand that Astro Bot takes huge inspiration from Super Mario, takes huge inspiration from that era of platforming of Nintendo. Okay, it does, it just does. Even the dude that won, when they won Game of the Year, the director of that game even said it had influence. He couldn't name them by name, but he said, yeah, they had a huge influence on them making this game, and that's fine. And I don't really like that he couldn't say Nintendo's name for some, I don't know why he couldn't thank them. Maybe Sony told him he couldn't thank him or something, but like it's really good. I really love the platforming. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's a fun game from beginning to end. You're done in 15-20 hours, and you know, I feel like this could be the start of a new franchise for them, and I hope that the success, like the critical success of this game, carries it forward, and we do get more games. I know going by, I don't think it's sold that well, but I think it's still sold pretty, like, okay enough that I do think they will make a sequel to this game. They do what all the other sequels do. They make it bigger and better. So I hope that's what happens, and I hope we get that, because I do really think I hope, this is just me, I hope we do get a sequel, because I really loved Astro Bot. It was really good. Alright, so Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Now, for the longest, I'm not going to say what number one is, but for the longest, this was my game of the year. I am a spoiler, so well, not spoilers, but just some background. I am a huge Final Fantasy VII fan. I really love this series. I love the characters. I love Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, Barrett, Red 13. I love all these characters. Sephiroth. I love all these characters. I am enthralled by the story of it. Now, when Remake first came out, I was confused by the ending. I'm just going to be honest with you. I was confused by the ending. I didn't really know what it meant. Then the sequel, you know, explains it. I do think my only criticism of the game, it's not a perfect game. My only criticism of the game is that Nomura is starting to do the Nomura thing, where he starts to confuse you a lot. And yeah, I don't really like that from Nomura. That's why I'm not going to say he ruined Kingdom Hearts, but he's part of the reason why Kingdom Hearts is kind of got that reputation of like a confusing series to follow. Even though I do think if you play the games and you ignore, well, not ignore, but if you just play these games and you follow along, you can follow it. But I do think he did mess it up a little bit. But if I'm just talking about the game, it's almost perfect. The music in this game is amazing, bro. Just very, like, all the Final Fantasy VII music that you heard when you played the original. Just, oh my god, it's nostalgic. When you hear "On the Way," when you hear "On Our Way," it gets you emotional, man. It gets you very emotional. And I do love the more of the backstory into it, because there were some things in Final Fantasy VII original that weren't really answered because you know they didn't have a lot of time to explain some of these things. So in this game they had, a little bit more time to explain things. So when we get to this part of the video, you can skip this if you don't want to get spoiled, but I'm just going to talk about it. I don't care. So when I played the original, obviously, I think we all knew in our heart Eric was going to die. So I knew in this game, I knew she was going to die because they're not going to do all this. They're not going to do all that. They're not going to do they're not going to retell the story, the pageantry and all that. And they're not going to like give you the, give you that like, oh no, she's going to die. No, she was going to die. She was going to die in this game. Now, I had prepared myself like I'm not going to cry because when I played the original, I did cry when she died. So when this game came out, I was like, all right, I know she's going to die in the end. I know the scene. I'm not going to cry. But these people at Square Enix, I swear, man, they knew I was not going to cry. They still made me cry because it wasn't even this. It was the scene before this when she went to, when Aerith and Cloud have like their little date thing. That whole scene, like near the end, before she pushes him into like the portal thing. I don't know what. I don't know what it is about that scene, but whenever I watch it, I can't help but not cry. I don't know what it is, because like the next scene is like supposed to be the sadder moment when she actually dies, and when I watch that, I don't cry. Like I just expect it, but that one, like to me, I think this would probably be my criticism. I think they should not have had that scene at all if they were going to show her dying, because I think when they showed that, they kind of anticipated like, oh no, guys, she is going to die in this game. So when they showed that, and you're already emotional, when you get to the other scene, you've already let your emotions out. So that's another negative, is that I do think they land on the emotion too much. Like they wanted people to cry in this game. But I felt like there's a thing where like if you are over emotional too much, it kind of deflates emotion into other parts of the game. I think that's what I had with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But I really before even that, after all that, I still really love the game. I can't wait for part 3 when it comes out in like 3 or 4 years. When it comes out in 3 to 4 years, when it comes out, I'll be excited to play it. But I'll tell you another thing. I really love like the silly stuff. Now I know some people, I'm not gonna say who. There's some people that don't really like that silly stuff in JRPGs. They want it to be a super serious American RPG with, very serious characters, no funny business. And I just tell them, where's your fun side? Where's your goofy side? Because some of the goofy stuff in this game is funny, okay? Now, Kate Sith, I'll agree with you. I think Kate Sith is even in the original, I thought he was a little bit over the top, and not over top. I always thought he was a little bit jarring in that game. But these are JRPGs, so I really not gonna complain that much. I just think it's a little jarring with him. This game has a lot of freaking mini games. A lot of mini games that a lot of people complain about it. When I saw it after I played the game, people were complaining about the mini games. I really didn't mind it. I knew there was going to be the Chocobo mini game. I knew there was going to be the Block mini game. I knew there was going to be the Barrett mini game. So I expected there was going to be a lot of mini games, but I did not see like the amount of people that complain about the mini games. When there's literally like a place that you go in the game, the Golden Saucer, where it's all mini games. And to expect that there's going to be mini games in this game. And for some reason, people complain about it. I don't know why. I thought the Golden Saucer part was funny. Everything about it. For the end, by the way. I don't know how they're going to pull it off. But we'll see what Square does. I just hope Nomura doesn't take it. And try to not Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts it too much to where, it becomes lost in the, where it becomes lost and stuff. So I hope. That's my one worry with it, but I hope part 3 is good. This would have been my game of the year if this next game that you're about to see didn't come out. Da 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 da. That might be my favorite battle theme of this entire list. This is my favorite battle theme, bro. When the orchestra and all that starts, I'm like, oh no, this This is already popping. And then that dude, that Buddhist guy, he starts like rapping in Buddhist, or like whatever Buddhist chant he's rapping about. I already knew I was in store for something special. This game, man, I'm just gonna give you my negatives off the bat. My only negative of this game is that, no, actually it's two, but one is like really like my fault, like actually my fault. Like I should have known to do this. So I will just preface this that this is my fault. This is my one negative about the game that's actually just my fault. And the second one is actually like an actual critique of it. So I'll go with the second one. Number two, my negative with this game is that I feel like there comes a point in this game where it does become a little bit too, just a little bit too. I understand these are Atlas games, so they're gonna be long, but I feel like this was a little bit too long, just a little bit. I think they could have cut down maybe like, if I'm being honest, 10-15 hours, but that's fine. I'm okay with it. They were telling a great story. I was enthralled, so I will not be that negative about it being maybe a little bit too long. My second complaint is really just me. It's near the end of the game, the final boss. Guys, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, if you plan on playing this game, grind. I mean a grind, because when you get to him, I'm not gonna say who it is, but when you get to the final boss, you are going to die a lot. You are going to die a lot if you don't know what you're doing. So be prepared and grind your ass, get all the good items, because you're gonna need it. Because I didn't know this when playing this game, and it's my fault. I'm gonna just say this, it's my fault for not knowing this. But when you get to him, just be prepared, because you're going to get your ass kicked. This dude might be the hardest fucking RPG boss I've ever faced, because this dude, oh my god, debuffs everywhere, oh my god, and then just grant me like fucking status effects, and I had some items that deflect that and everything, you know, like it would cure my status effects, or it didn't give me any status ailments at all, and I still got my ass kicked. This game, I think, is for like more of a seasoned RPG player, for people who know about you know, all the status ailments, you know, how to upgrade your guys and gals. This is a game, I think, for those hardcore RPG players that really, you know, play this, that really plays this series. Beat this in like 90 hours, and at no point did I feel tired when playing this game. I loved everything about this. Your companions on this mission were all cool, okay, all of them. And the game does a good job of like not, you know, portraying the world as a utopia, even in the game, but also even the talk of a utopia. Like, what is a utopia? What it really is a utopia. Is there even a utopia? A societal utopia where everyone is equal. There's no prejudice and all that stuff. And it does a really good job at that. Now, do I think it does a little bit too much of, like, a lot of people say like it's too preachy? No, because I think for the story they're telling, I think they could have gone more. They could have done a lot more. Trust me, they could have gone way more in depth in this. But I think they did a good job. I do think some of the time they probably should have alluded to it. Maybe not just outright say it, but just allude, synonyms and all that. But I don't really mind it. Now, the people that don't like that, I think they're just, they're just not very, I don't know what they want from a game. They don't want like people talking about real life shit. The gameplay is good. Like, the gameplay is really good. I really love that. The gameplay is really good. It plays like, it plays obviously like a Persona game, so you're going to have your action commands and all that, your action attacks and all that. And I really like the differentiation. The classes in this game I really like. You obviously have your mage and all those, your classic stuff. But then you have the ability to just upgrade, combine them with different classes and keep upgrading. I really love that. I almost did almost all the classes in the game, except like near the end, I didn't have enough time to do every one of them. My only other complaint of this game is that like a Persona game, you can't really do everything in the game unless you have like a guide. You actually this is the thing. Like, if you want to do everything in Persona games and these games, you gotta have a guide, because if you even mess up one thing, it kind of screws up the rest of the how you're gonna do, like what you're gonna do in the rest of the game, because you're gonna need a guide to do everything in the game, get all the bonds, get all that, get all the the companion, like get all the good stuff in the game. Like, you're gonna have to do all that just to get everything. But I really do like it. I think the main villain in this game, I can't describe it like he is the villain in this game, but you kind of agree with some of the things he says, which is kind of strange, because you're like, what the hell? No, but he has good points in this game. That's the thing. That's what I like in some of these villains, is that they are villains, and you can clearly tell that they're villains. Okay, they are not good people, but you kind of agree with some of the points, like, oh yeah, that is true. Why it does that? The music in this game, I think, is this Persona 3 and Final Fantasy Rebirth. This year, man, they just had, I don't know who was in the music department in all these studios, man. They were making bangers. That Buddhist rap battle theme in the big, like the first battle theme in Metaphor Refantazio, just, my God. It gets you hyped up to play. I kind of want to play the game again, but I don't have the copy. I lent it to a friend. I said this for the last couple games. I do hope this is actually the start of a franchise. I really do think Atlas has something with this series, and I hope they make a second one. I don't know what it's going to be about. It'll probably have to be something completely different. It can't be of the same world, but I really do hope they make a second game, because this was really, 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 really good. Now, but like, I really did love this game. This year for the gaming industry has been kind of rough because of the layoffs. They did make a lot, like, and I'll say this, they did make a lot of slop this year. There was a lot of games that did not do well. We had, literally, Sony made a game where barely anybody bought it, and then the studio closed like 2 days. The studio closed like 2 weeks later, and the game that they got doesn't even work anymore. It's offline. You can't even get it. You can't even get it in the Sony store, and if you try to buy this copy, what's the point? You buy the copy of the game, and you're not gonna play it. It's just gonna be an expensive paperweight. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I've kind of sounded nervous. I probably had to do a lot of editing to make it, seem like I'm not that nervous. I'm very nervous. This is gonna be the start of a new channel, and I hope it does well. But we'll see. I hope everyone enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time for the next video. I don't know what it's gonna be about. It's gonna be maybe very different than what I am. All right, see you guys.